after the Oscars, and we're exhausted. Hi, guys. I'm Lauren Zima.
I'm Bryce Sander.
I'm Ashley Crossan.
We're here to talk about the Academy Awards.
Yeah.
But we're all feeling a little hungover.
We're like tired. Not actually hungover.
Not actually hungover, just like a healthy mix of like overly caffeinated, but also very tired.
Aggressively tired.
Like 3 hours of sleep, a lot of coffee.
Yeah.
Yes. Like so much adrenaline after that insane ending to the 89th Annual Academy Awards, but then you had to go to sleep when you got home and you didn't know how to fall asleep.
Did not know.
LOL.
My body did not know.
LOL, no.
All right. Well, we'll get to that big moment at the end of this Facebook Live. We're going to start at the beginning at the red carpet. And if you have thoughts, feelings, emotions, comments, concerns, while we're talking about anything today, put them in the comments below. We'll get your cues here. We'll A them.
It took me a second because I'm so exhausted.
All right. Fashion. Ashley's favorite topic.
My favorite topic. I know everything about fashion.
Givenchy Balmain. Ashley, who's your favorite designer at Givenchy?
Forp?
All right. Well, let's kick it off with somebody in Armani.
Yes. Guys, I love Nicole Kidman's look. I mean, sometimes Nicole gets a little more wild.
Yeah.
She can get a little wild, but I felt like this was a nice mix of very beautiful, very classic, sparkling, but then also just kind of toned down color-wise in that gold. I thought she was luscious.
119 carats of Harry Winston jewels all over that woman.
You
That
can't
sounds
go
expensive.
wrong.
You can't go wrong, and you can't go many places. I know she had a huge security team with her because of that.
That's someone that knows how to work her skin tone, though. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Yes, because she has that creamy pale skin.
I would not think a creamy pale dress would work on a creamy pale skin tone.
No, Emma Stone, we'll get to Emma Stone in a minute, but she did a similar palette of that creamy paleness with gold. And actually, every time, guys, Nicole Kidman takes care of her skin. Every time we get bikini pics of her on the beach, it's not a bikini, it's like a full wetsuit. She's like, no sun.
Out of the sun.
Yes, and I love the way Keith Urban looks at her. I mean, he just always looks like he's so in love with her. Last night, they would not let go of each other's hands on the red carpet. They were holding hands the entire time. Look at him. He loves her. The look of love.
Well, let's talk about a lady we love in red. Viola Davis sporting some new bangs.
Yes, and Giorgio Armani, this was such a bold look for her. What a great dress to win the Oscar in, which she ultimately did. Do you guys like this new hair look from her?
I do, but
Love.
I mean, and her hubby also looking at her like Keith Urban looks at Nicole.
Yeah, I really dug it. It was kind of an edgier hairstyle for her.
I'm channeling Viola today.
You are. You're very Viola.
Yes, and guys, please let us know. I mean, we're kind of going through our best dressed here, and also at etonline.com we have our best dress list and also our worst dress list. So let us know what you think. Emma Stone.
Emma Stone, big winner of the night.
Yes, in Givenchy.
Looking dressed like an Oscar in gold.
There was a lot of gold on the red carpet last night, and I felt like Emma did a great job here of giving a nod to old Hollywood with those waves in her hair.
Right, just like classic Hollywood glam.
I mean, she even had the fringe, very like flapper, which is great because La La Land is like a modern day musical. It's a mesh of old and new, and I felt like her outfit did that. It was like this almost sheer gold sparkling, but then like the classic 40s glam waves, which I dug.
And then somebody who brought new wave of fashion to the carpet,
This was
Janelle
my
Monae,
favorite.
a lot of people's favorite look of the night. Here she is.
Oh, my
OMG.
goodness.
So different, right?
Glittery goddess. Now this is, so we spoke to her at the Essence event last week, and she was saying that she normally dresses in suits in tailored black and white because it's a nod to her mom, who was a janitor and wearing a uniform everywhere.
What an unexpected
Right,
reason.
she thinks a lot about her fashion. But here we have her in a different kind of look for her, very feminine.
Yeah, let's throw it up again because I can't. It's like you have to stare at it for a while to understand it. I mean, she's got the headband on, which we also saw Ruth Negga in a headband last night, in a sparkling headband, which was so pretty. And then it's so intricate. I mean, the textures, the different beading, the different colors and sparkles, and then the fact that she's got that sheer top with almost like 3D elements.
The sheer top is very much like Halle Berry when she won the Oscar, and she was just barely covered by flowers.
Yes, I loved it. Frankie says Emma Stone is best dressed. She looked stunning and beautiful.
Cynthia says, I'm sad I miss it. And Alan, what a shocking, wild, entertaining, stressful, unexpected, anxiety-filled
Alan,
finale.
that is exactly.
Yikes, yowza.
Yes.
Whoa.
And then Edward says Taraji looked so beautiful, which she always does.
She always does. We don't have her to look at here. Sorry, Edward.
But you know who we have to nod is the men.
Some
Okay,
men,
they don't get enough attention.
I think this is one of the first time we have put men on a best dress list at ET.
They were crushing it, and so much blue. Who do we have first? Let's take a look at some of these. Riz.
Oh, your boy Riz.
Your boy
My
Riz.
boy Riz Ahmed. Oh my gosh, he looked so fresh.
Ashley just interviewed him on Friday. The Rock also rocking
It's a lot.
velvety
Yeah, a lot of
tux.
like blue velvet.
And that, honestly, seeing him in person on the carpet, the color was even more bold. I think the cameras dulled it a little bit. It was almost a purple.
Okay.
Fake out.
Fake
out.
Like, fine.
Yeah, I mean, the problem for guys, it's hard for them to switch it up without being weird, but just a color change or a material change kind of makes a big difference. And they were looking good.
Chris Evans.
It's like the end of I Love You, Man, where he's like, I like your tux. It's blue.
Just mixing it up.
Yeah, Chris looked great.
Oh
Again,
my gosh,
almost purple. It was some bolder blues from the boys.
There was some, and there was some other blue on the carpet in the form
You are killing it on the transitions.
of ACLU ribbons. So a lot of stars were supporting the cause and supporting these ribbons that the ACLU handed out. Ruth Negga and Carly Kloss and Lin-Manuel all walked the carpet with them.
Yes, and Ruth almost being like Viola meets Janelle there. She had the red, but the sparkly
Still
headband.
unclear why Carly was there other than to wear the ribbon on her hip, but, glad she's there.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not like it's, I don't know, not to say that it is difficult, but you've got this beautiful dress on, and you got to figure out where you're gonna put the pin and still look great fashion wise.
Yeah.
I really appreciated that celebrities used that platform to talk about causes that were important to them. They all, of course, talked about the pins in their interviews.
Yeah, we have Lin-Manuel Miranda and his mom talking about it on the carpet.
And I also want to ask you about the ribbons. Very important that you're wearing the ACLU ribbons.
Well, yeah, it's an important organization. They're fighting the good fights right now, and we're happy to be wearing them on a night when a lot of people are watching TV.
Yeah.
I love Lynn and his mom.
You guys, that was so sweet. His mom said, she told me that she watched the Oscars every single year when he was growing up, and that she would always tell him, one day you're going to be up there.
And look.
And then he brought her.
was.
And he was. So cool.
A lot of stars and their moms at this carpet. Should we move inside to the show?
Into the show. So Justin Timberlake opens with this number. Of course, he was nominated for Can't Stop the Feeling. But I gotta say, I mean, I felt like the performance itself was a little bit overshadowed by the adorable kiss moment with Jessica Biel.
Yeah.
He gave Jess a little kiss, and then everybody was talking about how him and Ryan Gosling were saying hello
Little
together.
romantic Mickey Mouse Club reunion. This is also a huge break in tradition for the Oscars. We never open with a performance. It's usually, a sketch or a monologue, but we had Mr. JT.
Yeah, and it was kind of surprised. I don't know. I just wish we could be a fly on the wall. Jackie Chan with a very kind of low-key clap there. But I wish we could be a fly on the wall for Justin and Ryan's conversation, because I don't know if you guys remember that interview he did on Ellen. Ellen DeGeneres is one of the only people to ask him, like, you and Ryan Gosling. Ryan Gosling lived with him for a little while growing up. And she was like, you guys, are you still friends? And he said, for whatever reason, we don't talk that much anymore. I was like, what?
But they've been around each other a lot this awards season.
Rekindle that friendship. Yes.
Denny says, only JT could get all those stuffy people up on their feet. So fun.
Yes. I have to say, no shade to Jessica Biel, but I think in that relationship, Justin is the better dancer.
Yes. Well, as one would expect. All right. Then to the first big award of the night, Mahershala Ali, Best Supporting Actor for Moonlight, and he's the first Muslim actor to ever win an Oscar.
Yeah, what an important moment. I mean, considering how many people were, wearing those ACLU ribbons, we were all wondering just how political the show would get, and just what a great moment for him to just get that real acknowledgement, the first Muslim actor to win, especially when he got so emotional talking about being Muslim at the SAG Awards, I think it was.
Yes, I think we have a little clip of his acceptance speech here.
And lastly, I just want to thank my wife, who was in her third trimester during award season. We just had a daughter 4 days ago. I just want to thank her for being just such a soldier through this process and help and really carrying me through it all. So thank you. Really appreciate it. Peace and blessings.
Can we just say he had a birthday, a baby, and an Oscar in like a week?
In a week. It's been a week for him.
It's a Mahershala moment.
And then more history making here with Viola Davis. She is the first African-American performer to be one award away from an EGOT, an Oscar, an Emmy, and a Tony. Yes. For winning them. There have been performers who have won they've won honorary, like Whoopi Goldberg has some honorary and daytime Emmys, not necessarily for performing. So Viola is the unique one in that instance.
Yes, and everybody was talking about her speech. I mean, it's kind of crazy because so many of these moments that I feel like would be even bigger moments today got overshadowed a little by the ending.
Oh,
right?
yes. Oh, yeah.
But everybody was talking about that speech Viola made, and we actually have a little clip from her. I'm not sure if it's from the show or from the press room itself.
We have both.
We have both. Oh, wonderful.
So first, her speech.
What kind of stories do you want to tell, Viola? And I say, exhume those bodies. Exhume those stories. The stories of the people who dreamed big and never saw those dreams to fruition. People who fell in love and lost. I became an artist, and thank God I did, because we are the only profession that celebrates what it means to live a life.
Can we give her an Oscar for her Oscar?
Well, there were jokes that she was nominated for an Emmy for that Oscar speech. And then this is what she said backstage about her Emmy-winning role, Annalise Keating from How to Get Away with Murder. She gave Annalise's take on what she would think of the Oscar win.
Oh, she would most definitely say, I deserve this. And then she would have some vodka. And in that, we are very similar.
We're gonna.
I love that.
Sorry,
Wow.
I haven't seen that yet. That was amazing.
I feel like we know her and Denzel are such good friends. Like last night, I talked to Samuel L. Jackson, his wife, and they were just like, we're all good friends. We want Denzel to win. We want Viola to win. I feel like Viola Davis has picked up on some of Denzel's
Oh, yeah.
habits.
I think so.
His speech and then kind of laughing at herself.
Yeah.
They're becoming the same person.
Deidre, hello, Deidre, says, just give Viola a Grammy. She should be an EGOT and also knighted.
Yes.
Yes.
And Deidre also wondering, what's it going to take for a Justin Timberlake Ryan Gosling collaboration? I mean,
I
they
think a
collabed
lot.
on Mickey Mouse.
I think a lot.
I think a lot. Well, shall we move on to Jimmy Kimmel, the host of the night?
Yes.
Crushed this
I thought he did a
show.
wonderful job. Yeah. I know there was a few jokes that people were a little upset about, which I understand, but I think overall he really took the awkward moments and really
he didn't
carried us
pull a
through the night.
Hathaway Franco, which is
No.
all you can ask for.
No.
And I feel like overall the industry agrees that this is the most difficult awards show to host. I mean, the Globes, people have cocktails, they're having a little more fun. The Oscars, everybody's in like full gowns and in the seat for hours.
There's a
gotta
reason
keep
you
it
don't
moving.
see repeat Oscar hosts that much since the time of Billy, you know?
So we all loved this moment when Jimmy Kimmel brought in Gary from Chicago.
Gary
The
from
tour
Chicago.
group from Starline Tours came in and met the crowd.
Yes, if you guys missed this, Jimmy brought in some unsuspecting people. They did not know they were going to be coming into the Oscars. And this guy, Gary, and his wife, Jackie, really became the standout moments.
Oh, yeah.
Or I'm sorry, his fiancée, Jackie. Denzel Washington, borderline, not legally, married them there at the Oscars.
Jennifer Aniston gave them her sunglasses as an engagement/wedding
Ryan
present.
Gosling gave them something. He was like standing for them the whole time because he's a gentleman. But then Gary like goes in for the kill with everybody. He's kissing everybody.
Yes. Yeah, Gary
grabs Nicole Kidman's hands, gives her a kiss, gives Mahershala Ali his phone, and says, "Here, take a picture of me with your Oscar."
Gary wasn't going to waste that moment.
Gary,
and
had the ending not happened,
Gary
Gary would have been the breakout moment of the night.
Gary would have been the moment.
It would have been Gary on every morning show.
Lead story,
All I
Gary.
love to Gary still. I mean, he's great. I also liked the mean tweets. We got a mean tweets Oscars
That was
edition.
great.
You were laughing big at that.
I was laughing a lot.
Here's a little bit of that.
Oh, look at me. I'm Ryan Gosling. I have perfect bone structure and kind eyes. Go yourself, Ryan Gosling.
Samuel L. Jackson has resting fart face. Yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
And then we also, because it's Kimmel, we got the Matt Damon feud that's been going on, for like 20 years now.
I'm not sick of it. I know some people are.
I'm over it.
I'm not.
On the
I
record.
thought it was so funny.
So we got mentioned in the monologue, and here's that.
I would like to bury the hatchet with someone I've had issues with. What? Matt Damon. Now, Matt, I've known Matt for a long time now. I've known Matt so long. When I first met Matt, I was the fat one. Okay?
But it did not end there.
No, so many.
There was this great moments interspersed where these celebrities were talking about the movie that made them want to get involved in filmmaking, and then we got one from Kimmel where he was talking about We Bought a Zoo.
I was crying.
The first time I discovered We Bought a Zoo was at a multiplex in Burbank, believe it or not. The theater was completely empty, and it was magic. It was like it was just me and Matt and the animals.
I will say there were some people in our office when that came out and like, oh, but I really did like that movie.
No, I was crying. He was like, repeat.
I have to say, My favorite moment was when Ben Affleck and Matt Damon came out on stage.
Yes.
And the announcer, usually it's Oscar winner Ben Affleck and, 12-time not Matt Damon. And it goes, Ben Affleck and guest.
and then Jimmy's underneath just playing him off.
Playing
every
him off
time.
as soon as he starts
Every
talking.
time he starts talking. He's like, I'm presenting.
Well, speaking of Ben Affleck, his brother, Casey, big winner last night for Best Actor. Kind of a controversial win for a couple reasons, but big night for him. Denzel, who was nominated against him, did not seem too happy in the crowd, and I think we have his reaction for you to look at. Yeah.
This was as Casey Affleck was on stage kind of saying, like, Denzel, I just met you tonight. I have so much respect for you. And Denzel is just, I don't know, not whatever he's thinking there. He wasn't cheering like everybody else.
No.
He didn't even try to fake it.
No.
I feel like Casey Affleck definitely was the favorite. I think everyone thought it'd be Casey or Denzel. But I do love Denzel.
I love Denzel. I mean, I was actually pulling for Denzel. I've said this, but at the same time, I mean, Denzel had to expect that Casey.
Denzel also, I think the Oscars like to award somebody who hasn't won before. We saw that with Emma Stone. We see that with Casey. Denzel has won before.
Do they? What about Leo not winning for so long?
He finally got one.
You're the hate you.
He finally got one.
So speaking of favorites or not favorites, La La Land, record-setting number of nominations, 14 nominations last night, and here's where we get into it all. It did win big, though not quite as many awards as maybe we thought. Ended up getting Best Original Score, Best Cinematography, Production Design, Best Director for Damien Chazelle, the youngest in history to get that award. He's, 32? I mean, if I don't feel like a failure, good Lord.
And it's kind of, we'll get into it, but it's kind of unprecedented that the Best Director win does not win Best Picture, which is what happened.
Yes, and also, of course, Best Actress for Emma Stone, and she getting that award from Leo, looking gorgeous. Okay, so the ending.
Whoa!
We were all, you guys, we were wrapping up.
We thought it was done.
We were ready to finish.
We listened to 3 people give a speech for a movie that did not win.
We heard them thank their wives. We heard you brought up this point, and I thought it was such a good point from you. You were like, it's not like the moment had just happened and then they ended it. It was like people were giving their speeches.
Yeah. They got very far into it, like aggressively far.
Yes.
And then you could just feel all this commotion happening, like something didn't feel right.
Right.
You could see the stage manager kind of walking around in the back of the shot.
I think we have the initial moment to show you guys of...
the Best Picture winner.
Yeah.
And the Academy Award... for Best Picture.
You're impossible. Come on. La La Land.
So it was Faye's fault.
I thought that he was doing a bit. Like, I thought he was really trying to, like, amp up the moment he was going to announce it. And then you go to find out that he was like, I think I have the wrong card. I don't really know what to do.
He knew he had the wrong card, and Faye did not know that and just read it.
Yeah, so what ended up happening, of course, guys, I mean, I'm sure you've heard about it at this point, but Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway announced La La Land as the Best Picture winner. La La Land guys get up on stage, accepting the award, making speeches to their wives and families, etc. And then a stage manager comes out and says Moonlight is the real winner.
And we have the clip of when they transitioned between the wins.
We lost, by the way, but, you know.
Guys, I'm sorry.
No, there's a mistake. Moonlight, you guys won Best Picture.
Moonlight won. Come on, this is not a joke.
This is not a joke. I'm afraid they read the wrong thing.
This is not a joke. Moonlight has won Best Picture. Moonlight, Best Picture.
Can we just talk about how graceful Jordan Horwitz handled
and
that moment?
Man has been very close to winning an Oscar many times before. Again, did not win tonight, but he's been nominated before for The Kids Are All Right in these different pictures. So I think it was, having that context, extremely grateful and graceful to give it up.
And E.T., we spoke to him, and you can get that full interview at etonline.com. We talked to him exclusively about that whole moment and just about how gracious he was. And, what he brought up was that they've been with the Moonlight guys on, like, the whole awards season press tour. Like, they spend time with them. They're friends with them. So it really wasn't that he felt, he was happy to give them the award. It was just such a terrible moment because they thought that they'd won, Mm-hmm. But, I mean, they're friends with them, and I think everybody at La La Land agreed Moonlight's an amazing movie as well.
Yeah. And Warren Beatty did come out and apologize and kind of try to explain it. I don't think we're ever going to get the real story of what happened back there.
We've really been breaking it down, you guys. And again, a lot of this is at etonline.com. I mean, the people who have the envelopes, there are so many rules and regulations they put in place for themselves to avoid this happening, which is why probably it's never happened in the history of the show. But I mean, they have a couple of envelopes to make sure that they give the person the right envelope.
Right. They have basically one set on each side of the stage, depending on where you're coming from to present.
Yes. And at first there was a question of whether Emma Stone had accidentally left her Best Actress card, but she actually addressed that in the press room. Here's what she said to clear things up.
I am so excited for Moonlight. And of course, it was an amazing thing to hear La La Land. I think we all would have loved to win Best Picture, but we are so excited for Moonlight. I think it's one of the best films of all time. So I was pretty beside myself. I also was holding my Best Actress in a Leading Role card that entire time. So whatever story, I don't mean to start stuff, but whatever story that was, I had that card.
It was all happening so fast.
Yeah.
I think Emma was worried that people were going to blame her.
We're going to blame her, right.
Because what Warren had said was, he did, you could see it.
You could see it. He had the Best Supporting or the Best Actress card, too.
Yeah, so somehow he was given the wrong card. And I think, so many of you guys are saying Warren was bewildered. People are just as shocked. So he wanted to clear up, no, I was given the wrong card, and that's why he looked so confused.
I'm so glad that he stood there and just explained it right away, because we were all so baffled.
Right.
And he was like, guys, no, this is exactly what happened. I'm going to tell you right now before I get off the stage.
Faye Dunaway ran away and then released a statement saying she will not address what happened.
Well, and I felt bad for him, and like you said, I'm glad he stood there, because Faye was even kind of ribbing him a little bit. Like, she thought he was messing around. She was like, oh, you're impossible. And then she takes the card, and some people also even this morning are criticizing Warren, saying well, why didn't he just stand there on that stage and say something's wrong?
I think he was trying to.
He didn't say La La Land.
Yeah.
I think he was trying to figure out what was going on.
And imagine knowing you're on live TV, trying to process what's happening. Millions of people are watching you. You're feeling the silence. I would have been totally freaked
That must have felt like 20 minutes.
Yes.
Yes. Well, we have more reactions from backstage from the people behind these movies. Here's Barry Jenkins talking about what was going on.
Yes, direct.
The last 20 minutes of my life have been insane. I don't think my life could be changed any more dramatically than what happened in the last 20 or 30 minutes. But I also think too, working on this film. With everyone here, all the cast that is somewhere drinking champagne, I'm sure. It's just been otherworldly, I will say. And I never expected so many people to see the film. But even a step further, so many people to see themselves in the film. I was in Germany.
Yeah, and then let's go ahead and roll. We also had Mahershala Ali, star of Moonlight, and the winner, talking about the mix-up too.
Jordan Horwitz said, Moonlight, you guys have won. It just threw me a bit because it threw me more than a bit, but I didn't want to go up there and take anything from somebody, and it's very hard to feel joy in a moment like that,
That's so true. That's, part of me is just that moment was just kind of ruined for everybody involved.
Oh yeah, it was a real roller coaster.
Because how do you go up and you're like, yes, I won.
No, I didn't.
Like, what do you do?
Right. You almost feel bad for I think both parties felt bad for being happy.
Yeah.
They didn't know how to feel. And poor, Jimmy Kimmel. To his credit, he was like. I felt like he felt that as host, he just had to get out there and try to help. And he even said, can't we just give Oscars to everyone at this point,
I did like when he was like, Warren, what did you do? Because that's when we were all shouting at the screen and then he said it.
He really did a great job of trying to lighten that moment. But, it's like this is the moment for those people.
Yeah, it was definitely serious to them.
And PricewaterhouseCoopers, the firm that does the tallying of the votes and has the cards, is investigating what's going on. They've released a statement to us saying they deeply regret what occurred. They're looking into it. But again, we're not sure if we're ever going to really know what happened because there's so many factors.
Yeah, they said the presenters had mistakenly been given the wrong category envelope, and when discovered, was immediately corrected.
Immediately,
the speeches were made.
A few speeches in,
Yeah, but
But as that stage manager was out there pretty fast, grabbing back statues.
Yes, and they said, of course, they appreciate the grace which the nominees, the Academy, ABC, and Jimmy Kimmel handled the situation.
Seriously, Jordan Horowitz. I mean, come on, that was amazing. But you could feel that moment, like when they were like Moonlight won. It was just like a slow clap because people were like,
everyone was very confused.
I was like, is he pulling in are they pulling an Adele? Like, are they trying to give it to Beyonce?
Right.
Like, I didn't know what was happening.
That's what I thought at first.
Yeah, I was like,
nope,
I thought it was like, we can't
won.
accept this award, but then it was like, no, Moonlight won. Here's the card.
We were at a lot of the after parties getting reactions from these big stars on what happened. Here's Viola Davis reacting to what went down.
What's your reaction to that crazy fiasco at the end of the show?
Oh my goodness.
Surreal.
That's about it.
Yeah, that's it.
I have to say it was a little bit exciting.
Oh.
I am Viola in that moment.
Yes.
I was like, oh my God, yes.
I mean, Viola hitting the nail on the head with what kind of I think we'd frankly all been feeling as we said, we're like, okay, like the show's wrapping up. I mean, it was an enjoyable show, but that's kind of the beauty of live TV is sort of in these things that are on the one hand terrible, it's also unforgettable. I mean,
no one's going to forget Moonlight now.
No. We also have Ava DuVernay talking about the win and how significant it's going to be moving forward.
The mix-up at the end was kind of pandemonium. It was really kind of shocking and confusing. Nobody was really quite sure what was going on. But, you know, regardless of what happened, I hope people realize that a $1.5 million independent film by a black director about poor black gay men was named the best picture of the year by the Academy. I think that's very significant, so hopefully that's not overshadowed.
Agreed. Ava.
There we go.
She always says the right thing. And
what
Viola always has fun.
And what a note to end our recap on.
Yes. I just want to read this one last comment. Becca says she was half expecting that last thing to be one big Matt Damon joke. I think that's why they had to keep saying it's not a joke.
It's not a joke.
Because people thought it was a bit.
Yes, and actually Jimmy Kimmel gave an additional interview on that saying he just really wants to make sure people know it wasn't a prank. That's up on our website. And I think what too was so fun about this was we just talked about seeing Viola's reaction. We have so many reactions on etonline.com of Meryl Streep in the audience, Ryan Gosling on the stage. Nobody could believe this was happening.
No.
And it's all on their face.
And you can go watch it, read it, all on etonline.com. We also have interviews with other stars who weren't at the show but at the parties. Like we have This Is Us scoop, a lot of stuff to check out.
Yes. So what an unforgettable 89th Academy Awards, guys.
Wow. That's the end of awards season.
How will the 90th top it?
Let's drink some more coffee. Cheers. Guys, thanks for being with ET during awards season. Stick with us for all the other things. Bye.
Bye.